The Blair Witch Project, which is a movie that I reviewed last year for my 31 Days of Horror reviews. Definitely is a movie that divides people. Like, you'll get people saying it's one of the best horror movies ever. You'll get people saying that it's, the worst piece of shit they've ever seen. You'll get people somewhere in between. It's always been a movie that I've liked, kind of depending on the mood I am when viewing it. But it's a movie I like enough to revisit and see how it holds up. Most recent time I saw it, I did really like it, and I hope that reflected in my review. Also in that review, I let you know a little bit how I felt about Blair Witch 2. Um, uh, I thought that would be all I would need to say, but I thought, this year, how about review Blair Witch 2. Well, Book of Shadows Blair Witch 2 is the official title. So I will be reviewing it today. There's not really much debate on this one. I think most people will tell you it is a fucking piece of shit, that it's awful. And it is. But, let's try to kind of think about where they're coming from with this movie. Blair Witch made for $5. Made $100 million, even more than that. It was a huge success, so the profit on that movie was nuts. So they'd have to be crazy not to do a sequel. But how do you approach a sequel when kind of the main appeal was the movie was, kind of making people think, oh, was this real? Is this a real documentary? Even if you knew, that it was complete, bullshit, but no, completely fiction, I should say. You can still enjoy it, putting on that perspective, I guess, because it invites you into it effectively, I think, as opposed to some other found footage movies where they don't really earn that kind of legitimacy, like marketing aside of the movie, just within the reality of the movie. I think they did a good job for that. But how are they supposed to make a sequel to that? Oh, by the way, here's these other three kids that get stuck in the woods. Do the whole retread of the movie again. That would just be horrible. And you'll see that, something like the Paranormal Activity franchise, they learned from Blair Witch's mistakes. They're like, let's just give audiences the same shit over and over. So, not saying that makes the movies better, but it certainly made them more popular. So anyway, so they make Blair Witch Project 2, Book of Shadows, Blair Witch Project 2, whatever. So this is like an actual movie, an actual written, acted, performed movie that is not a faux documentary. It's a movie about people who have seen the Blair Witch Project, and that's kind of an interesting type of concept to the movie. Like they begin with documentary footage, interview footage about the huge phenomenon that the Blair Witch Project was, and people who are so obsessed with the movie that they wanted to see the same place where the Blair Witch originated, where the three kids from the movie were supposedly killed, Burkittsville, Maryland. So it became, quiet little town that turned into a tourist hotspot where people are selling those little wooden trinkets from the movie, and totally turning this little town upside down, basically. And you see all, the people who don't like it, who think everything in the town has been ruined. Like you see the sheriff, like, there ain't no witch here, and, get out of the woods, go home, idiots, basically. So that aspect, I think, is interesting, like seeing how within this fictionalized movie, how this movie that's a real movie within this fake movie affected this fictional town. So, I mean, that's an interesting concept. And, first 5 minutes of the movie, kind of like, okay, I can go with this. I definitely can. But then, I mean, after the first 5 minutes, everything goes sour. So you have this group of kids, once again. Except I would say this group of, well, they're not kids, maybe like 20-somethings. Probably around, people like my age, I guess. Like 20-somethings, maybe. They want to do the Blair Witch tour. They want to walk the same, footsteps as Josh, Heather, and Mike. That's the guy. It took me a year, but I remembered. If you go back to the... Never mind. So yeah, they're just, kind of annoying characters. The one that's a witch. She's like, I'm a witch. I like nature, okay? The annoying guy and his annoying wife or girlfriend, and they have a baby on the way, but they're arguing about it. The guy with the little patch here. The goth girl was kind of hot, so I mean that's at least worth it. And I think that's it. I think that's all the characters, but who knows? they're stupid characters who I didn't really like. Mostly because I think the acting was really bad acting in this movie. Like it's hard to believe that you know these three kids in this original movie who were like just holding a camera, they pull off such like honestly, you got to give it to those three kids. They pull off good performances, and it's like half, if not more than half, improvisation, which maybe is what makes it work so well. But when you have this scripted movie and they're spouting out this trite bullshit about stupid shit about witches and curses and whatever, it just doesn't work, I think. And the plot itself is stupid. What little plot there is, they encounter this other group who's also trying to do a Blair Witch tour. They hold up in this shack, and they have their video of the night. They're going through the video. Like, there's a whole period of time where they blacked out, mostly because they thought, oh, we were just so drunk. But then there's something else going on. They see visions, these supposedly creepy visions, but they're just really stupid, like this little swamp girl moving backwards, whatever. And it's all just really stupid. Like, the inspiration kind of seemed to come from that TV show that the makers of the Blair Witch Project put out, Freaky Links. So there's a lot in tune with that. You remember Freaky Links? It wasn't that good. Neither was this movie, so there you go. It's not really good. It's just a really stupid plot. Trying to mind fuck you and not doing a good job. So, obviously, this just went in such a sour direction. And, there's sections of the movie where they're, like, blasting the rock music, because I don't know what it is about, Hollywood horror movies. They think, they have to play the rock music. That's what, the target audience wants to hear. Like, Freddy versus Jason, like, the title screen's like, okay. But I guess maybe there's some truth to that. I don't know. But anyway, who directed? Joel Berlinger directed this movie, Paradise Lost. Legitimate director. Apparently, I mean, I haven't listened to the commentary of this movie because that would mean I'd have to watch the movie again, which I'm just not prepared to do. I'm really not. He was very open about expressing how studio pretty much fucked with his vision. So he wasn't too happy with the finished product of the movie. Neither was anyone who watched it. So don't feel too bad, Mr. Berlinger. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely some interference going on, because I mean, it's just kind of an impossible thing. You can't capture lightning in a bottle. Can't replicate the phenomenon that was the Blair Witch Project. So with Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2, I mean, yeah, they tried, I guess. They tried to do something that wasn't a retread, tried to do something that was original, but they just failed miserably. This movie is not good. It is not good at all. It is a very stupid movie. The mind fucking just doesn't work. And there's this whole thing, like, that's supposed to entice you to rewatch the movie and watch really closely. What was it? The Secret of S. River. Oh, hidden within this film are mysterious and haunting images not easily seen by the naked eye. To reveal the Secret of S. River, you must 1. Select Secret of S. River from within the DVD menus for specific instructions. 2. When the special feature ends, while your DVD player is still playing, hit the reverse button and watch as clues are revealed. 3. Go back to the movie and find the hidden messages, if you dare. I'm not watching this movie again to find the secret message. No fucking way. No, fuck you. I've read up a little bit on some of them, and surprisingly, they're not worth it. So there's that. So yeah, Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2. It is not a good movie. It is a piece of shit. Sucks balls, as I mentioned last year. So I definitely don't recommend watching it unless you just can't contain your self-hatred, and you just have to watch a movie that is gonna suck bad. And it sucks bad. It really does. I mean, I'm not over-exaggerating. It's an awful movie. Yeah. So that'll be my review. Blair Witch 2, Book of Shadows. Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's a horrible movie. Yeah, so thanks a lot for watching. More reviews to come. And 31 Days of Horror. More reviews on their way. Thanks for watching.